All right, welcome to this week's 5-Minute Life Hack. I am here with Casey Harasi, and he has joined me again. We actually recorded this last week, and something happened. My technology skills are not what they should be, so something happened, and we're re-recording. But anyway, really excited to have Casey on the call today, and we're going to talk a little bit about goals. The reason I have Casey on here while I start sharing my screen is Casey is someone I look up to in this area, and I've learned a lot from. But Casey set some amazing goals and did a lot of things in the 8 years or so that I've known him. And I really like looking up to the people who've done incredible things. So with that, I'll turn it over to Casey and tell us a little bit about like how you got involved with goals and how this started for you.
Okay, so it started for me. We had a gentleman that worked here with us, and he was just probably one of the most jacked people you'd ever meet. Super strong, super driven, and I kind of just watched him work and kind of caught the bug from him. Like, hey, I think I can do better. And so I asked him, would you mind if I went to the gym with you, and started to kind of see what that's like. And so I went with him to the gym and started working out every morning. And it just, again, I caught the bug. It was just like, hey, what can I do next? And what can I do, to continue to try and better myself? And so, after a couple of years of going to the gym, I started going, hey, maybe try and do some running. So I jumped in and I signed up for a 3-race series for my first runs ever. It was a 5, 10, and 15K. And I just jumped in and I did it. And, to me, it was running's not my favorite, but, kind of having that drive to complete a goal and to complete a distance. Again, it just kind of got to me of like, I just loved that feeling of chasing something and completing it and, setting up the steps and being able to complete a goal. And so I think one thing that I really liked was that, for me, I don't like to do the whole quitting's not an option, failure's not an option. For me, I always keep that, hey, you know what? Failure actually is an option, but I hate it. I don't want to fail. So that's what keeps me driven. It's like I know what it feels like to quit, and I know what it feels like to fail, and I hate that. And so that for me it's like that's my driving factor. Is like, oh, you can fail, and you can actually fail really easily. So I always keep that in the back of my mind of like, hey, failure's chasing you. Let's outrun it a little bit. And so, I think Greg really wanted me to speak to kind of how that translates into other areas of my life. Maybe when it comes to not just physical goals, but completing goals at work. We have big things that we need to complete, and it's the same for me as running a race. I plan it out. I know, okay, this is how much I need to do per day or per week in order to be able to complete that goal on time. And so it's really just taught me that no goal is too big. It's just chunking it down into smaller fractions and saying, okay, well, this is what I need to do today in order to set myself up for 3 weeks from now to be able to run my marathon or whatever it is. So in a lot of ways, it really did teach me that, goals are just taking a million small steps and combining them, and guess what? Then you hit those steps, and then by the end you're like, okay, I went from running 1 mile a day and almost dying to, hey, now I ran a marathon and I feel great.
Yeah.
So,
but it took a lot of time, a lot of small steps.
Yep.
But Casey wanted to share this picture a little bit. But Casey's completely transformed his physical body in the 8 years I've known him. But I think also along with that, and you talked to this a little bit, but like the mental side of life and winning and achieving has also transformed along with that. And we talked about that a couple of weeks ago on our life hack, was kind of building that positive momentum. Like go out and just get a small victory today, and build that momentum and let it translate into other areas of your life.
For sure.
And I think that's important for all of us. And Casey's been a really good example of that. It's obviously easy to see the physical. That's easy to see. But what you don't see is the mental change that has happened and how that really translates to the rest of your life. So
for sure.
Anyway, Casey, I look up to you a ton, man. Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
You're fantastic. And guys, go out and make an impact today and set some goals, small goals, set one, make it happen, and then really build momentum in the rest of your life doing the same thing. So
Yep.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Greg.